Welcome everybody to the SEO Vault, episode 216. I'm here today with my good friend Mark. Hello, Mark.
Hi.
Hello. So, welcome. This is the SEO Vault, where we analyze the recent SEO news, filter out the industry noise so you don't have to, talk about what's working in the SERPs, tests, brand updates, all that great stuff. So, stick around and we'll just jump right into it. So how's this day find you, Mark? Doing
It
well?
finds me well, Mike. I'm a little sad we're missing Sophie, our sister in arms here, but
Yes. A
we'll
major player.
get through it.
We'll
Yeah,
make it
so
work.
Sophie's the shiznit. She brings a good energy, a real good vibe.
Definitely keeps the energy up. She's
And now
the
that's gonna fall on my plate now. I'm gonna have to be Mr. High Energy for the next 30 to 60 minutes, and I'm ready to take on that responsibility, Mike. I'm
Thank
ready.
you. Someone's got to. So, since we're you're gonna be leading the energy, why don't you just take us into some updates there, Mark?
Cool. So, first things first, thank you everyone who patronized us during our Black Friday sale. Well, thanks to anyone that patronizes us anyway, but a special thanks for those who um, jumped in and participated in that. We will have bonuses out by the end of the week. They all should be sent out, hopefully. Um, I know you guys are eager to jump in, so we'll try to be prompt and diligent with getting that out. But um, it was a big good sale. So um, if we fall a day or so behind, hopefully you guys don't hate us for it. But we will kick ass and try to get that done. So that's a really big one. Just thanks again. We'll be sharing when we make the St. Jude's donation, which has been a long-standing tradition at Web 20 that I'm very proud of. I think we all are. We have a lot of families here. So plus I think generally most people are pro kid. Like we like kids. We like kids getting treatment and having
We care
access
about
to
the
the
children. Yeah.
yeah, we like kids. So that's a big one. But other than that, I have a data-driven content training live that I put together. I put together two parts of it. The third part will be there's going to be a little bit of latency before that comes out. Um, Basically, just starting from scratch and using data to develop content plans. I show a couple different ways I do that. I leave it very, very fluid, so you can easily take a few things you like from what I do and make it your own. Maybe you have a better process. I'd love to hear about it, as content's something I've been focusing on for a long time now and creating really good content mapping solutions, optimization. It's something we're working on at Web 20 to be able to create better content maps and always improve on page optimization. So it's a big focus of all of our uh, all of our attention is on this, I should say. But
Well, I think
data-driven content's out, so go enjoy
I was
that
gonna
as well.
say the last week we went in, I think, a lot more detail on that. We talked a little bit more about the data-driven content processes. So check that out if you didn't watch the previous episode. But yeah, that should be go watch the training too, obviously. Tons of good
Yep,
stuff.
yep. It was pretty good. Again, there's a lot of content made about content plans right now. It's like the big thing. So hopefully, hopefully you appreciate what I some of
A
the
sim
little things I found that
it's a
helped
well
me. Maybe
broken
it'll help you too.
down data-driven process. It's not convoluted. It's not hard to. It's here's what we're looking at, why we're looking at, and what we're doing, which is appreciated. Like we definitely don't see a lot in the industry where it's just simple data analysis that leads to action taking. So yeah, anyways, go watch the training. And yeah, what other updates do we got?
So something really cool we're working on is the SEO testing library. One of the big pushes I wanted to make since we popped into Web 20 was just a better way to display the mad scientist results, a better way for you guys to follow along, see updates for different tests, just have a more centralized kind of container for the mad scientist work that we do. So the testing library is in the works, and I think you guys will really like that. I'm excited for it. We've been working really hard. A lot of this is also Sophie, to be honest. She's been really kicking ass and helping propel the mad scientist forward. So we want to continue to support her and empower her so she can keep rocking that, because we're definitely getting uh, back in the full swing of running SEO tests and providing updates to you guys, and we want to do a lot more of that. Speaking of tests, a pretty cool test that Mike ran was the PR test for his CTA filing service website and service website. Jesus, that was a bit redundant, but really cool news there that the AP News and Yahoo Finance PR is now showing in AI Generative Results. So that was pretty cool to see pop. Still ranking #1, showing as a featured snippet. The power of that Yahoo Finance PR and NAP News really drove that one home. So we're still monitoring and giving updates on that. And I think it was really cool. Mike, you probably agree that the AI generative results featured you guys. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, I think that's huge, especially with like Bard taking off. I think it's even one of the news items that we're talking about today that like Google Bard is using YouTube videos. Combining all these things with generative AI is definitely going to be the future. So, it's going to be big. And even the new like we're working on all the new press release services where we're adding a bunch of those higher authoritative releases. And I think we'd even mentioned previously some of the ability to have unique content on those releases as well, which when you start talking about AI is going to be hugely beneficial for AI training and understanding or indexing this type of information when it has multiple resources explaining the same thing in different ways. So definitely excited about this test and the new PR services.
For sure. Check out that test on the in the update in the Mad Scientist section of the site, so you can see the screenshot for yourself. Or we should edit it in. It should be somewhere. We should be able to do like those cool YouTubers do. Just be like, check this out, and point to it, and it like appears on the screen. We need we need to invest in video editing, like post-production video editing. But for now, if it doesn't appear somewhere from me doing that, it means we failed in post-production editing, and you can just go check it out on the site. We have some cool news. Um, Sometimes the news is a little boring, which is great considering the updates we've had. Sometimes boring weeks are good, but we actually have some pretty cool stuff. The first thing on the list is the Google Notes. We talked last week a bit. We had a
Mhm.
lot of questions, more questions than answers. We dug in a little bit and have some, excuse me, some updated news on that. So notes are crawlable. They're obviously indexable. Um, if you go to just like they did in on SE Roundtable, he did a site search, and the link it was the site search and then content.ucp.usercontent.goog, Goog. You can see an index of them. And digging deeper, when you click on the note, it brings up the card, basically the website that the note is in reference to, that they commented on. And as of me checking, I don't know, like 15 minutes ago, it was a do follow link back to the site. Now, that's as far as we got, but
There you
having
go.
oh cool, uh, having
So yeah,
seeing that that link. It definitely just moved to the top of our list in things to test for. There it is. In things to test for the mad scientist to see if it gives us any type of if it seems to be any type of a signal to help our ranking. So little cool update. And thank you,
Can
Mike, for
guarantee
the
if it's if there is a signal, then it's going to get used a lot. And like I think before we jumped on, we'll probably start seeing comments getting filtered. People, it'll get crazy. It's a really interesting concept though for Google, and I think it's been long overdue for Google to kind of introduce more of a user-generated aspect to search, which I think they initially were trying to do with Google Plus way back in the day, but that it was a little ambitious the way they were trying to turn search into a social network. Um, but this could be interesting to see how it works, how they end up filtering these results, or maybe you can connect with certain posters and things like that. Definitely going to be a lot of exciting tests coming up for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, the November update is still rolling out. It looks like the longest core update rollout since the beginning of core updates.
Fun stuff. I
That's
guess
not
Google, yeah. Looks like Google's doing away the legacy feature of their site crawler.
Google is in the
Base,
business of depreciating your control over their search engine. That's what they do.
yeah. They said that the improvements they made to their crawling logic and other tools available to publishers has made the usefulness for the legacy tool dissipate. The usefulness has dissipated. So,
Do we I was just thinking they still have the link disavow tool, right? I almost feel like they were talking about getting rid of that at one point too.
no, I believe that's still in there.
I think it's still there, but I remember a while back reading something about. But I see a lot of those tools going away over time, just with like they're not going to care about not care. They're not going to need people to give that input. Their algorithms and AI and stuff will just be better at filtering than having people give their input, or they'll get their input from the people through Google Notes.
Oh man, yeah. It looks like there's Google's doing simple search topic refinement to create simpler search results.
They said it
I thought that
changes the
was
results though.
so. I'm interested in that, and the reason I'm interested in that is Google's obviously leaning into its disgusting amount of big data, and they're making they're predicting that it's like, hey, some percentage of people that made this search are. I imagine the easiest way they would make this decision is probably to see people who modified their search then, who didn't click through and instead modified the search to something different. I complete speculation.
Hmm.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
that would mean like, hey, this search needed refined this many times before they engaged with a piece of content, and then the the reason I think that's so interesting is the more data these big companies have, the more they'll be able to predict with some type of
Right.
acceptable confidence score that you actually do want their result. This reminds me of like dealing with the OpenAI API, where when you send your prompt through like it'll just change your prompt. They can, and they do. They will.
Hmm.
So I think that's interesting. It's like these companies are like, hey, they probably mean this, or this is a better way to interact with our AI models, or hey, this is probably a better
Hmm.
way based on our data to interact with our search engine. I think we'll see more and more shit like this
So
as
like you put
you
in a
know,
3-letter search term and they're almost giving like a paragraph of what you want to the AI based on your location and your IP and your browser and like all the data that they have with all of
you
that
know,
encompassed and what it for sure makes sense. Um, so it'll
it,
be
it would
interesting to
put.
see how that gets implemented if it does.
True. It also plays into, like they have the information gain score where when people are in a browser session and they perform a query and then they back out and Google wants to look at their corpus of sites and serve a site that might have additional information based on the documents that you've interacted with during your
Hmm.
browsing session. So they serve that, and then having like if you kill your session, they might look at that as a success and say, okay, here's a better way to get to this piece of content. They also could use that to rank that content better for that query. That's like
Hmm.
that could be a two birds one stone situation. But there's a lot of, like, Google has a lot of components, patented components in their information retrieval and their delivery process to kind of be built for this, where it's
Hmm.
like they should know what people really want. I mean, they certainly have the click data to support decisions like that.
I think the biggest issue Google's had over time is actually their ability to capture and process the data, just like the sheer amount of computing power needed to do that. And with modern technology and the way things are moving with AI, and quantum computing even, they're definitely going to have much more available over time to more readily access and leverage that data. So we probably will see a lot of those changes happening, like you said, where they can look at more of that data and make much more minor improvements that can drastically improve their probability score of a conversion or whatever they would call it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that hit me with that. I was just like, man, that's it's interesting. The more we progress, how we're seeing how these companies are using just their like infinite amounts of data, it seems like, to do like predictive results or changing your queries or prompts to, I don't know, I just think that's very cool, very interesting.
Mm-hmm. It is. Speaking of changing prompts in AI, Bard now understands YouTube videos, which isn't too surprising, but beneficial, as we were talking about before, like the AI generation for the press release. There could definitely be some optimization, indexation opportunity with AI, with YouTube. I haven't really done too much testing with YouTube stuff in a long, long time, to be honest. I think Google kind of depreciated a lot of the more heavy hitter kind of SEO stuff that was being promoted back in the day with like live events and ranking YouTube videos and things like that, which is probably why. But it'll be interesting to see how AI plays a part in video indexation and promotion in the SERPs because I mean I think there's a large group of people that prefer video over text or audio or podcasts or whatever that is, and the search would definitely benefit from a more inclusive media format than just text. you know I think long
Sure.
term at least, which they've played around with over the years, but I feel like mostly now I get text unless I'm searching for like a video or an image. I see less mixed search results for certain things
It's
like
true.
news or, informational. I get blogs and affiliate sites now, so yeah. Anyways, that's my 2 cents about Bard.
I don't have any sense about Bard. I didn't spend a lot of time with Bard, not for any specific reason. I just
I Yeah, I've wanted to play around with it more for like integration, like with my Google Calendar and setting up
sure.
appointment stuff. Yeah, but um, I honestly that doesn't take up a big part of my day. Like the stuff I'm
Right.
using ChatGPT for right now is probably way more, just like replying to emails or writing small scripts or creating presentations or, anything. I've just been using ChatGPT and the AI API pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think the integration potential, just because I am a huge Google Workspace user, but again, it's like you said, like I have a lot of that shit automated already,
Hmm.
and I have it integrated into other workflows, and I don't know, I probably also am just not quite using my workspace to its full potential. Is also good, and that's fine. Like I'm doing okay. So I just haven't had a huge need to dig into that yet.
Well, and even like ChatGPT, I know on iPhones, there's like Flow GPT or something that can hook into your shortcuts on iPhone, so ChatGPT can connect and work with your Google Calendar and all the other apps within the iPhone. So, you know, you can leverage all the same things with AI, at least I know with an iPhone, but there's probably other ways than just Bard. And I'm not personally not hugely invested in Google products. I don't like to be owned by, like, I don't want to build my entire business on Google.
Don't you?
No, I don't. I mean, building it off of Google, making money off of Google is different, but like that's for honestly like the first 10 years, no, about first 6, 7 years in my own business, I used OneDrive and I didn't even touch Google. I didn't trust Google with anything. So it took me 7 years to
Yeah.
even start using OneDrive. And it was all because I started selling backlinks and things within the SEO spheres outside of just like digital marketing services. And everyone wanted Google links. They were like, "What's this OneDrive link?" I'm like, "What's bro? Don't you OneDrive? What's up?" No, everyone uses Drive in the industry, so I was forced to move to Drive after 6, 7 years.
Yeah. If you ever want a real rush, you can build a business all off of their API. It's always a good time.
Yeah, that's great. That's why it's nice giving customers the ability to use their own API, just like Web20 Ranker's AI content service.
That was an interesting segue. I'll take it. We'll take it. We do those. We do those interesting segues.
That tool is getting amazing though. Like even I mean, like, not that I wasn't impressed or thought it was a good tool to begin with, but I mean, yeah, I'm like I'm not. I mean, V1's always a little rough, right? But no, I mean, it's like with the updates and everything going into it, it's like, damn, this is really gonna replace some people's tool sets. You know what I mean? That's the big thing. Like, I could see you dropping a
Yeah,
lot of tools and maybe even some content writers. you know, like it's definitely a game changer when it comes to agency content generation. So
for sure.
excited about
So
it.
pretty much has the Mike Milas seal of approval where it doesn't fucking suck anymore. So that's really nice. Rich, proud of that. No, no, yeah, it's cool, man. The whole tool section's cool. It's gonna keep getting cooler. I guess the whole tool section is just the content writer right now, but knowing what's going in there, super stoked for it.
Yeah, definitely amazing stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
All good things.
All good things. Man, we cruised through this one. Wow.
We flew through it. We didn't have Sophie to keep the. I mean, that means she's about 50% of the show. We filled what, about half the show? Sophie makes up for like 50% of the show.
We needed you, Sophie. We needed you.
It's all right though. She'll be back.
She will. She will be back. That's a good thing. Um, Other than that, yeah, I don't know that we have. We just wrapped up our Black Friday sale. Thank you everyone again for that. A phenomenal Black Friday and Cyber Monday. For anyone that celebrated, hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. Um, Relaxed with your friends, family, whatever. However you get down. However you get down with your bad selves. I hope the down was gotten and yourself is still bad.
Why they could have
Um,
got up with them good selves.
doesn't have the same ring to it, pal. Um, upcoming content, we have a bunch in the pipeline. I don't want to get into too much right now. I'd rather just release it and put it out to the world as opposed to create like a build up about every single thing we're doing. And other than that, I don't know that we have anything else, to be absolutely honest.
No, stay tuned. Got a lot of exciting updates with the tool section. That's definitely just constantly being cranked out right now. The SEO testing section, be on the lookout for that, and I think that's about it. So we can call it an episode. Thank you everybody for joining us. Episode 216. Remember to like, share, smash the subscribe button. Find us on all your favorite podcasting platforms, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.